Ghana is sitting in the West. It benefits their economy. Africa has survived this situation without much injection. Therefore, the disease has already spread through Africa. Have to try and get to another country and then agree some sort of bilateral agreement to... We will not do that, Professor Hank. Back off. Now, we are not only on our channel, The Hot Seat, saying that he is a propagandist. We not only say that, as we believed that we are the only patriotic channel as far as Ghana is concerned, we contacted Professor Hank. Yes, we did. Inviting him over this show so we can ask him direct questions as far as Ghana people are concerned. He gave an excuse, but the hot seat, we say he's afraid to come to the hot seat because he knows we will ask him questions that will expose him. Professor Hank, the invitation is still open. If you are not scared, if you're not a propagandist, if you're not only working in the interest to destabilize Ghana and to get Ghana to use its American dollar as its official currency, come on the show. Come on the show and answer questions. I am ready for you. But he refused. We contacted him on the 6th January. He responded to us. Thank you, Professor Hank, for responding. We appreciate you for that. He responded and said on the 10th January and said, he is so busy. Professor Hank, you are so busy not to come on this show for just 15 minutes or even maximum 20 minutes, but you are not busy, you're not too busy tabulating your figures to say Ghana's inflation is 105 plus and put it on the internet. You have time for that, but you don't have time to come and answer questions. Anyway, the hot seat, NSG News, we didn't give up. We followed up with Professor Hank and said, okay, if you're so busy, give us the time when you are available. From the streets of Ghana, politics, join me on the hot seat, where we keep it live, clean, precise, and to the point, where it's all about country and people, patriotic views for the betterment of Ghana. On Message, I'm your host, M. See you. And welcome to NSG News. In the interest of Ghana must work, Ghana can work. We want Ghana to work. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, forward to other Ghana loving Ghanaians. Collectively, we'll bring Ghana to where we want it to be. Speaking facts with boldness, with integrity. This is the hot seat, where we keep it straight, sharp, direct to the point. No partisan sentiments, just purely country and people. Welcome. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris in Ghana. I mean, we're sure by now she is left or about to leave the country. And her arrival has brought a controversy, something that has already been an issue. Her arrival has ignited that fire again. And on the hot seat, we're wondering, the U.S. Vice President or the U.S. government flown, on the hot seat, we want to call it Air Force 2. Probably that's what they call it. The hot seat, we're not sure. But if the president flies Air Force 1, then the vice president should be flying Air Force 2. So with American taxpayers' money all the way to Ghana, one thing on their mind is to project LGBTQ+ at the expense of all the difficulties Ghana is going through economically, infrastructurally. That is all Kamala Harris arrived in Ghana to promote. That is quite insulting. We still have people in Ghana now who don't have access to basic medical care. Villages are not linked with proper roads, towns to cities, so that our farm produce could be brought into the cities is a difficult task. And after flying all those distances to America, all Kamala Harris, the Vice President of United States of America, is in Ghana to promote its LGBTQ+. No wonder previously, as carried or reported by Amanin, an activist in Ghana, on the fact that $200 million aid was given to Ghana, and directives were 50 million of that money should be used to help or support MSM, men sleeping with men, in buying lubricants and condoms, at the expense of the fact that when the rain really falls in Accra, the last time there was flood in Accra, the less talked about it, the better. It's quite painful. We are not saying the responsibility is on America to make Ghana develop. In as much as that responsibility is not America to help Ghana develop, there's no responsibility on them either, or authority or power granting them to come and ride roughshod over our values, culture, and tradition. Ghanaians are not doing anything to anybody. Ghanaians know what is right for them. And our policymakers, our lawmakers, work in the interest of the people. Interesting enough, our president stood there and on the hot seat, trembling in his boots. After Kamala Harris said that the U.S., after those journalists that they brought from America purposely to come and ask questions in the interest of the ideology that they want to impose on us. And she kicks off to say, yes, that's U.S. position. Yes, keep your position in your country. Do what you want to do in your country. But don't come to Ghana visiting skating parks. How good that is to Ghana's economy, I don't know. And that just for show. But anyway, not only that, Kamala Harris said the U.S. government wants to institute, on the hot seat, we call it this way, wants to impose a resident advisor. Now, if I need advice, I'll come asking for one. And maybe except our president and the government has gone to America and asked for one, this is why they want to come and institute a resident advisor to Ghana. No, we call it a resident tax master. This is how it started in those days. For Ghana to be colonized, this is how it started. Are we going back to the colonial days? Why should we be instituting advisor on the Ghanaians? If we need one, we will ask, except our president has come begging for one we are not aware of. But the last time the hot seat checked, we didn't go asking America for a resident advisor. The hot seat, we came across a report that Honorable Samuel Okujeto said that America is trying to make amends for how, during the era of Donald Trump, Africans were neglected. What do you mean, Honorable Ablakwa? We've always respected you, but this your statement seems to suggest that NDC is not coming to do anything different. NDC is not going to try to take the sovereignty of Ghana back from all this Western pressure. What do you mean? That means we willingly just go and bow to the West. We willingly invite them in to dictate to us what is or what is not, so that you can take printed dollar, called money, at the expense of all the resources that we have. It seems like our leadership is a tragedy. We are not doing anything to make viable the resources we have. We don't want to do any work. We just want to enjoy. This is why our leaders keep going to borrow printed American dollar that is being speculated around that its time is come to pass. The time of the American dollar is done and dusted. That is the report. So they print money and hooked Ghana and the rest of Africa to it to give their money value. We're not going to dwell too much on this. Kamala Harris and U.S. government's behavior in Ghana is unacceptable. As you will know, Hot Seat, we are the authoritative, patriotic channel of Ghana. Because all the rest of the channels in Ghana, all the media houses are there celebrating, jumping because the U.S. Vice President, the First Lady Vice President of the United States is in Ghana. What did she come to do? How much value is she adding to Ghana? Yes, promising 100 million. Yes, another set of printed paper with strings attached. No, Honorable Samuel Kujato, Donald Trump believes in sovereignty. Leave countries to manage themselves. That's what he did. And I think that is right. So if you and NDC is coming to office or trying to come to office just so that you can wield the sovereignty of Ghana to the west so they dictate to us, we might as well carry on with what we have at the moment. The only person that is vocal about this issue is Honorable Sam George, Nigo Pram MP. Is he the only person that understands that Ghanaians have values? Why? What's the matter with us? Is he the only one? And then all our president can say is that, oh yes, the bill is going through parliament at the moment, but even that, if it gets passed by the parliament, he will have to rectify it. Mr. President, are you threatening us Ghanaians that when it comes to you, you're not going to rectify it? Is that what you're trying to say? And that seems to have angered the Speaker of Parliament, so he came out to say some things. Leave Ghana alone. Before the slave trade, Ghanaians, our forefathers, were comfortable to marry 4, 5, 6, all because of human resource. A woman can carry fetus for 9 months, so for 9 months she can't get pregnant anymore. But a man with 9 wives, 10 wives, or whatever, can give birth to 10 children in a year. So they have resources because they were farmers, they were herdsmen, they need resources. But we've managed to come to a point where we've criminalized a man being able to marry many. Of course, our traditions are still there. But just to hit something right there. African values are not good enough. Or the values of Ghanaians that we cherish is not good enough. Everything that is brought from the world should be shoved down our throat. And our leaders, our political leaders, seems to be moved by the promise of printed American fiat currency. Get your grips together. It seems like there's no coming Nkrumah in our time anymore. No iota of patriotism. What is that? This is the hot seat. It's unacceptable the behavior of the U.S. government and their Vice President Kamala Harris in Ghana, imposing on us what they think is right. No, Ghana, we know what is good for us. Sam George, don't give up. Sit up and do what is right. We all have rights, and no one's rights is going to be violated in Ghana. And our values, it's not going to be disregarded either. Mr. President, it's quite interesting that you stood there to say, even if the policy passes through Parliament, it will come to you to rectify. Are you threatening you will not? That question comes back to you one more time. Anyway, this is the hot seat. We thought to talk about this. On the NSG News, there's a short, precise article on this matter. Have a read. NorthSageGH.com. Till we come your way, God bless Mother Ghana. Long live the Fourth Republic. And we pray and hope our lawmakers, our MPs, will not cower and bow to this pressure from Kamala Harris and the White House of United States of America. Come off your partisan horses. Come off the inferiority complex. When we hear it from the West, then we have lose our sense of righteousness, our sense of being, and bowing head over toes because of American fiat dollar. Because that's the only thing. We've been promised 100 million. Therefore, we should sell our values. We should sell our conscience. America, we did not ask for an advisor. We can advise ourselves. It's quite insulting that we say we are a sovereign country. America is saying that we cannot manage ourselves. Therefore, we are sending you, we are going to give you somebody to decide on what you do or not do. And our leaders are quiet about this. Our media is quiet about this. See you in our next episode. Stay blessed. Long live the Fourth Republic. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to NSG News. This is the hot seat. And in the interest of Ghana must work, Ghana can work. We want Ghana to work. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and forward to other Ghana-loving Ghanaians. Welcome. Military brutality. Our soldiers, uniformed personnel, brutalizing innocent Ghanaians. And we ask why. Yes, a crime was committed, and therefore the military, the soldiers were licensed to go into the community and brutalize, maltreat innocent Ghanaians. We say innocent Ghanaians because after their, don't know what to call it, the abuse of the community, it turns out the police were on top of the game and have eventually arrested some individuals who are linked to the crime. What is the crime? A soldier is being murdered, killed in a community, a shaman, in our country. And therefore, our soldiers, what they could do, because one of their own is being murdered, therefore, they bundle themselves into their trucks, into the community, and maltreated inhumanely. I mean, you can see in the video what it looks like. How many people killed this individual? It turns out, I think it was 4 or 6 individuals were arrested linked to the crime. So now, where is the justice for these many other individuals that were brutalized by these soldiers? Who ordered the operation? Where within our constitution is it allowed that when a crime is committed, those relating to the individual, that, let it be, in this case, murder, when an individual is murdered, the relatives of this individual can just bundle themselves to the community where the suspect is and beat up everybody. Let's assume these are just individuals who were not satisfied with the fact that their friend is killed in that community and went out there to just cause this sort of mayhem, this sort of havoc, mistreatment of innocent Ghanaians. How would that be like? But because they are uniformed men who have been enlisted to protect the very Ghanaians that they were molesting, maltreated completely, inhumanely. The interesting thing is that the media, again, our media is quiet. NSG News, we wondered what is the use of the media in Ghana. Yes, it was reported, But there's no counter view or there's no call for these soldiers, including who the officer that may have authorized this operation also needs to be called to question. Our constitution is clear. It said every individual is entitled to a what? A fair trial. Let's assume that these maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 or more individuals, innocent individuals that were molested by these soldiers, let's say they committed a crime. Our constitution said they are entitled to a fair trial. But that notwithstanding, it turns out they didn't commit the crime because 4, 5, 6 other individuals were arrested by the police through investigation. The soldiers did not give a chance to the police to carry out their duties. You see, there was an incident in the United Kingdom some time back where a UK soldier was butchered in daylight in the street. There's no account that the soldiers went out into that community or to the group of people suspect to have committed that and just bulldozed them, maltreated them. No, the police took over the matter, investigated, and the necessary actions believed to have been taken. Why is it different with us? This is not the first time our military is behaving this way. This is not the second. This is not, it happens all the time. And we are all quiet. That's unacceptable. They're as human as us. The only thing is they are uniform. And that is the right they have to just maltreat us, walk over our rights anyhow, any way they please. There is not only that, for a while now, there's been a clash between the police and the soldiers. 37, in the daylight, the soldiers and the police were seriously engaged in disagreement. I think it even developed into a fight. Our uniformed men. Then on the 27th, again, the police and the soldiers. I think that was in Makula somewhere. Why? What is wrong? But the painful aspect is that the Ghana Graphic Online carried a report that the Director General of Armed Forces Public Affairs said that they have received calls where they've been thanked or they've been given appreciation for the operation that they carry out in Ashaiman. NSG News, the Horsey, we call it illegal operation. It is not constitutionally right for what the soldiers have done. Yes, a soldier has been killed. It is the job of the police to investigate and arrest and prosecute accordingly. As a matter of fact, if this continues, the president himself should know that he's not safe. As and when the soldiers are not satisfied with his performance or whatever, they can just bundle themselves into a truck and drive to the Jubilee House. So all of you, the political leaders, be quiet over the fact that these soldiers are becoming very unruly and they are disregarding the provisions of Constitution. And that needs to be called to book. Ideally, these soldiers and whoever give the command should be dishonorably discharged. That should be the right thing to do. Because it turns out, these individuals that were maltreated, molested, brutalized, has nothing to do with the crime. Funny enough, there is some trouble in Boku, and there's a report that the military cannot step there. So yes, is the military, are they cowards? They are only powerful when it comes to civilians. Why wouldn't they step into Boku? What is stopping them from going to Boku? If they can carry out operation in Ashaiman, whereby their public relations officer, Director General, is saying they've been receiving calls saying that, well done, Okay, we want you to go to Boku too and stop the fight so that we can call the public relations office and tell them, well done for bringing calm to Boku. Because the report carry is the soldiers cannot step into Boku. Why not? So only civilians you are good at molesting, people who are defenseless, people who are not armed, those are the ones you molest. And it's not the first time. It's been happening. And I remember very well quite a while ago, not a while ago, when I was young, within my teens, walking past with my friend, two soldiers walked past us, were looking at them. Suddenly they rushed us and said, why are we looking at them? Actually, we were just appreciating because they were young soldiers. Apparently, they just came out of, they've just passed out of training and they were in town. So, you know, normally, in some parts of the world, soldiers don't wear their uniform and walk around anyhow. But in Ghana, they wear their uniforms and walk around just to intimidate people. So this journeyman walked back to us and said, why are we looking at him wanting to intimidate me? Anyway, we'll leave the rest of the story for another day. But that's what these our military do. We used to respect them, and it seems like they are not the respected ones in our society anymore. And they have to watch their ways. And we thought to talk about this because these soldiers that went into assignment to inhumanly mistreat innocent Ghanaians, violating their rights to the core, needs to be called to book. Needs, in as much as, yes, the fact that the rest of the media, the media houses in Ghana are quiet and think what they did is right. No, NSG News, the hot seat, we don't think is right. They need to be called to book, if possible, dishonorably discharged. You'll see in the video, you can see the videos in the background, how they've been treated for not committing a crime, for being a suspect. No. Our soldiers, to understand, they've been enlisted to defend, to protect the very people that they have gone molesting. And that is unacceptable. They have violated the right, the constitutional rights of these innocent Ghanaians. Because they are defenseless, because they were not carrying guns, because they are not in uniform. And we are all quiet. We shouldn't be quiet. It could be you. It could be me. Why that? Why that? We thought to talk about this. As you will know, NSG News for country and people. And the behavior of our soldiers. It's been on for a while now anyway, but it's becoming common and rampant that our military, our soldiers, can just get into the community and do whatever they want to do. No. No, that's not right. Constitutionally, it's not right. What would it have been if these individuals that were just bundled together and maltreated, if they were equally armed? What do you think that would have been? We thought to talk about this and to call it out to the Ministry of Defense and to the President of the Republic of Ghana that our soldiers need to be called to book. They need to be addressed. Of course, not all of them. Some do it. And the continual clash between the police and the soldiers needs to be fixed as well. In some parts of the world, police can arrest soldiers when they misbehave in public. Why can't that be in Ghana? The police are the peace officers. Their job is to intervene. Their job is to arrest if people violate the provisions of constitution or the laws of the land. And that individual could be a soldier, immigration officer, a SEPS officer, whatever you are bound by the same laws of the land. Anyway, we thought to talk about this Until we come your way, God bless Mother Ghana. Long live the Fourth Republic. And please remember to forward the video to other Ghana-loving Ghanaians and subscribe to the channel. And collectively, we make a difference. Bye for now. Hello, welcome to NSG News, and this is NSG Sports Desk. Welcome. Boxing. The boxing scene, especially the heavyweight, is full of rumors, and we say rumors much more than actions from those we are expecting to see actions from. Tyson Fury, Usyk, Deontay Wilder. Of course, Joshua just came out of the ring a couple of weeks ago, or maximum a month. Now, it's not up to a month, no. So we can't pin him down too much as far as his ring activities is concerned. But he's on it. He's promised to come back in summer, but there's counter information that is going to be in December. And then this is where the trouble began. Some alleged he has failed drug test, and some said his injury. Of course, there was this report or sighting of having nose bleeding before coming to the ring. And as the fight continues, we see his whole shorts is soiled with blood. But Anthony Joshua's backlash after the unanimous decision victory over Franklin is very interesting. Many of the other heavyweights who have not been in the ring, who have not been active, but no one is bashing them. One of them, said to be the best of all times, Tyson Fury, but he's not been in the ring. He talks, he tries, whether it's deliberate, to say he wants to fight this person, and then the deals just fall off. But anyway, Tony Joshua failing drug test. How far do we want to go? How far is the boxing community and pundits want to go to discredit the performance, the achievement of this young man? Taking into the fact that he started boxing quite late, not too late, because with the new sensation going on now, that means he did not start too late, because late but not too late. I mean, Freezy Macbones. We'll talk a little bit about him later in this conversation. Joshua is too stiff. He's too big. Even Lennox Lewis came out to say he's too big. Joshua is naturally big. It's not like the guy has always been small and suddenly shows up and he's big. If the training means that his body response is what we see, what is the matter? How far dislike do people want to have for this guy, irrespective of the fact that he is the sensation when it comes to heavyweight? He brought the sensation back about 10, 12 years ago when everything was quiet. So what is the matter? How far will the pundits, the boxing community, go to discredit his performance, his achievement? And even upon the back-to-back loss to Usyk, he bounced back with a victory, with a new trainer, where it looks like there's something promising coming there. Come on, let's give credit where credit is due. Of course, NSG Sports News. Anthony Joshua is our favorite boxer, and we come in with critical views from against the views that people have against him, but constructively, with facts. Anyway, so that's it. That is, he said he's failed drug test. That's why he's not going to fight till December. How would it be that it is officially confirmed that he has failed drug test and be able to fight in December. They would have banned him. But anyway, to put him at to any all there was reports that came out in the news from different channels that Vada has come out to say, no, he didn't fail any drug test. So end of story. Believe it or not, the guy's doing well. That's what he needs. He's trying. He's trying. It's possible he might turn around and say, look, I'm still doing my fight in summer. But this is the interesting part. It is, again, alleged, Eddie's talked about it, that there's going to be a 4-fight in Saudi Arabia, kind of like a tournament or a one night with these 4 big names on the same card. Tyson Fury versus Usyk, Usyk versus Tyson Fury. I don't know which one comes first. Now then, Deontay Wilder and Joshua. Of course, it will be the biggest show to be put up, and it will be the most content rich to be given to boxing fans. So if it comes off, it will be nice. But this is it. Again, people keep talking, oh yes, Deontay Wilder will just knock Joshua out. He doesn't have chin. What else would Joshua do to prove himself? If I were him, I'll just stop trying to prove anybody. Just do my own thing. You like it, like it. You don't like it, that's your problem. After all, he came from the streets and now he's a champion. He's got l'argent, crispy cash, and he's still championing the sports. Let's commend the guy. Now, Joe Joyce versus Zhang. Zhang stopped Joe Joyce. Prior to this fight, Joe Joyce will be rubbing his mouth against Anthony Joshua. His supporters said that he will run through Anthony Joshua. Now he's been exposed. With the southpaw, who picked his eye out of the socket, just same way he picked Dubois' eyes out of socket. Of course, if we are honest, Joyce doesn't move a lot. He's flat-footed and just forward coming. And so if he meets a more formidable boxer, as in this case, Zhang has proved to be that formidable boxer who pick him apart, it's going to be difficult for him. He doesn't move his head. He only seems to have confidence in his ability to absorb punches and having a strong chin. But this time, it's obvious it wasn't about the chin. Zhang picked his eye out. And congratulating to Zhang, who now wants to take on Tyson Fury. Tyson, give him the fight. They say you are the best. I think size-wise, both of you are quite as a par. It will be a good match. Give us something, Tyson Fury. You and Zhang in the ring. Let's see what happens. He's called you out. You going to respond? Or you going to just you do the usual thing by saying he's not to your level, whatever, all the different antics that you prove to duck and dodge the fights that are placed before you. Anyway, so Zhang has exposed Joe Joyce. What's he going to say about Joshua now? Congratulations to Zhang for his wonderful performance against Joe Joyce. A strong, powerful puncher and a good punch absorber. It could be arguably the best punch absorber in the heavyweight when it comes to chin. But it doesn't take only the chin. There's other parts of the body that can be broken. And this time, he broke the eye. And referee has no choice than to stop the fight. Even that, people are complaining. Maybe they wanted his eye to fall out of the socket before the referee stopped the fight. But the referee has done well. Brilliant decision. There was no way that fight could continue if we want Joe Joyce to return to the ring. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Now, Freezy Macbones, the new sensation in the light heavyweight division, who overwhelmed his opponent with some wicked punches all over the place. Congratulations to Freezy Macbones, who has become the sensation, especially his storyline to where he is now. Congratulations to him. It is not easy to come from that line and choose one of the most difficult sports. And at very late, I mean, as far as boxing is concerned, he came in very late. When he started maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, NSG Sports, we're not sure, but it is said he's 27 years now, so he's really late. Joshua started around 17, 18 years, and that is late, notwithstanding 27 years having his first debut. Personally, I would say he has done tremendously well because I tried boxing before. It's not like, it wasn't like I was doing well, but in my mind, I was then like 25, 26 years old. I thought to myself, nobody said anything to me. I thought to myself, it's too late, and I stopped. So for this guy to have the motivation, the determination to even come all the way to having his first professional debut, Freezy Macbones, well done. Keep it up. Do as much as you can. You've got the energy, and yes, manage the energy, control the energy, so that when you meet a more formidable opponent who is slick, you conserve your energy and let the power go, your power go in your arms and take them down. Well done. But anyway, this is where NSG News, which is exclusively, we say we are the authoritative patriotic channel for Ghana. We saw a report where the Ghana Boxing Association is saying that if Freezy Macbones wants to fight for Ghana, he should contact them. Hello? That's nonsense. Did you bring him to where he is now? When he was struggling, did you know even what he was doing? A sensible institution will be the one to approach him, not he approaching the institution. This is one of the most stupid things I've heard in a very long time. It seems like maybe Ghana Boxing Association wants him to contact them so they can play their usual games. No, the guy is achieving something. He's going somewhere. He actually fought with Ghana flag on his shorts. Meaning the guy loves his country and he would love to fight for his country. You're sitting down there saying that, okay, if he wants to fight for Ghana, he should contact Ghana Boxing Association. No, Ghana Boxing Association, you should contact him. Ask his views, what he wants to do, which flag he wants to fly. A wise person would do that. An intelligent person would do that. Because he is the one delivering, he is the one performing, and you're sitting in Ghana wanting him to contact you. See, these are some of the things that discourages people from performing for our mother Ghana. Wake up, Ghana Boxing Association. Wise up and contact the guy if you want him to. I think he would love to, because when you look on his shows, he was boldly flying the Ghana flag on his waistline. Unacceptable behavior. Ghana Boxing Association. Freezy Macbones, congratulations. The story of how Anthony Joshua helped him. Beautiful. Thank you, Anthony Joshua, for helping him. Now he's in the limelight and he's doing well. We pray and hope that he does well. No injury stories. And he gets to where he's supposed to go and go as far as he wants to go. Beautiful stuff. The other fights going, Davis and his fight, I think, is this weekend. We'll look forward to it and see how that's going to perform. But you know, heavyweight is the sensation. So before we go, we pray that the 4 big guys who is to be put together in one night at Saudi Arabia, we pray and hope that happens. It's not another usual rumors and stories, because it seems like the heavyweight scene is driven by rumors and story with no actions. We want actions. We want punches thrown. We want people being dropped. Yes, that's what it takes. Look over the years. But anyway, till we come your way, let's keep the boxing community active, wide, and be constructive in our analysis and to appreciate what these guys does. Because like I've said before, when you're boxing, when they are punched in the face, it feels like you banged your head to the ground. Sometimes it's a difficult boxing. It's a difficult sport. And people are they are determined on doing what they are doing. Let's congratulate him and stop beating Anthony Joshua. The guy is doing very well and is the great ambassador of the boxing heavyweight scene. Give it to him. He deserves it. See ya in our next episode. You can go and listen to it. Not only read the captions of the channels, just listen to what Secretary of State Blinken said and what our president kicked off and start saying.
Leadership in West Africa, the important efforts on regional security. We're strong partners, including on the UN Security Council, which we greatly value, partners for democracy and security in West Africa. And we greatly appreciate the peacekeeping contributions that Ghana makes, but also just more broadly, your own leadership for peace, for security, for democracy. Many challenges, but we're grateful to actually be facing them together, and really pleased to have you here this week for the summit. So thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate the time.
So, Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. We'll just thank the American government for the invitation to participate in this summit. I think it's a summit that's been long overdue. I believe it's the second. The last time was, what, over 10 years ago? Yeah, perhaps we should be doing more. But it's good that it has happened. It gives us an opportunity to talk about many common threats and challenges that we have, which you've identified. And particularly for us, to be able to put into relief where we are. Yesterday I had I was part of an extremely useful meeting with the people from the Congress to come and talk about security matters. I believe that, Madam, you were there, you were part of the meeting. And its significance for us. And I think that beyond everything, that is a matter that I want to urge upon you. Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. Apart from not accepting the idea of great powers once again making Africa their theater of operation, we have a particular position that you know about over the Ukraine war, where we have been very, very vocal and upfront about condemning the invasion of Russia by Russia. And therefore, then now to have this group at our borders is a matter of some considerable disquiet and concern for us. We really like to have a privileged opportunity to talk about its implications and what we believe ought to be the case. This is what took place with the discussion in the Congress yesterday, which I found very fruitful. And I would like the themes of that discussion should be the themes that we should continue to address. To what extent we can have you as a partner in confronting these threats. It is very important that ECOWAS and the West African area remains a democratic space. It's the reason for the actions we took over the coup d'etats in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Guinea. And ECOWAS has been very consistent in refusing to deal with these governments because of the undemocratic nature of their accession to power. The commitment to democratic values and institutions is a high priority for our states. We in Ghana have been through all kinds of arrangements, governance arrangements in the past, one-party state, all kinds of experiments have taken place. And our people are now very clear in their mind. They want to go down the avenue of democratic engagement. And that is why the last 30 years of the Fourth Republic have been the most stable in our country's history. We want to do everything to preserve that. But there are enemies of democracy who are working hard in West Africa today. And therefore it's important that we bring that matter to your notice and see to what extent we can engage you as a reliable partner in the pushback of those forces. There are other areas, of course, of great significance too, the cooperation for economic growth and for the development and for the making of prosperity for our people, which is to some extent part and parcel of the same fight. Because the young people have things to do, they're not going to be recruits for terrorist forces. So all of that is part and parcel. But specifically, what we can do about the terrorist threat in West Africa is now the major security concern of all our states, especially the coastal states, that up till now, to the last 6 months, have been relatively free of this threat. But now on all our common borders of Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, are these forces that are operating there. And we have to find a way to be able to respond and respond.
We talked about UN, you talked about this. All the issues that happen in Africa, all the civil wars, the genocide, UN was sitting there watching. Those wars lasted for years, 10, 8, 9, 10 years. What did UN do to stop it? What did it...
Deputy Speaker, 3 months ago, one of the UK's most eminent and trusted cardiologists, a man with an international reputation, Dr. Asim Malhotra, published peer-reviewed research that concluded that there should be a complete cessation in the administration of the COVID mRNA vaccines for everyone because of clear and robust data of significant harms and little ongoing benefit. He described the rollout of the biotech Pfizer vaccine as perhaps the greatest miscarriage of medical science, damage to population health, erosion of trust in public health, and attack on democracy that we will witness in our lifetime. Interesting, Madam Deputy Speaker, there's not been a single rebuttal so far in the scientific literature to Dr. Malhotra's findings, despite its widespread circulation and it making international news.
Hello, and welcome to Nasage. And this is The Hot Seat, where it's all about country and people. Welcome. I'm your host, M. In the interest of Ghana must work, Ghana can work, we want Ghana to work. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and forward to other Ghanaians. Today, we're talking about vaccine, even though personally I'm careful to call it a vaccine. So let's say the COVID injection. I came across an article in the businessghana.com news, and which, of course, I will read some captions, and then we will look at it with respect to what is going on around the world, to where even this injection came from. COVID never originated from Ghana, neither did it originate from Africa. Yet, all these cortices or the areas in the world where these issues started from and was very, very interestingly deep, have all withdrawn and have pulled back on all the draconian measures that were put in place. But it's quite surprising that Africa and some of the African countries, including Ghana, still playing some funny games with the situation. So I came across this, and on the hot seat, we want to have a look at some aspects. And at this point, we want to say, is either the Ghanaian Ministry of Health leadership is compromised financially as far as the COVID injection is concerned, or they just don't know what is going on, or they just don't care about the health of Ghanaians. So let's get into it. Now, this is what the caption says. Reducing vulnerability. Ghana Health Service encourages COVID-19 vaccination. I call it COVID-19 injection because at the heat of the COVID story, the lockup, the lockdown, whatever you want to call it, it was more or less like the world was being stopped from having any other view, perspective, medical advice as far as what was going on is concerned. But here we are, all these things that were being said from experts, virologists, doctors, physicians, nurses, they are now being vindicated. I mean, testimonies from some of the officials, from some of the pharmaceutical companies has vindicated them. And so it's quite surprising that Ghanaian medical sector leadership is still pushing for this. And even in some instances I came across, the Minister of Health is actually demanding that if you don't show certificate, you don't have to access the Ministry of Health facility. That is ridiculous. Is it that he's compromised financially and want Ghana to buy more of those vaccines that we have even signed ourselves? You ask yourself, at the peak of this matter, at the heat of it, countries have signed to indemnify the companies that were manufacturing this vaccine. My intelligent mind tells me, no, something is wrong. Is it that they are not confident of what they are offering us? Or something is wrong, they knew about it, and they don't want to be held accountable. Imagine buying a car and the shop says that, look, you have to sign to say when you get on the road, in the next 5 minutes, something happens mechanically, which points to the fact that the manufacturer has made an error. They are not responsible. I believe you would think twice before buying that car. But anyway, so one Dr. Kwame Amposa Achiano, manager of the Expanded Program on Immunization, EPI, of the Ghana Health Service. He says that the country can reduce its vulnerability to the ripple effect of the current growing COVID-19 cases in other parts of the world if eligible persons for vaccination avail themselves. Who are these eligible persons? They didn't say. I will stop there. Now, in some other courtesies, it is said that as far as Africa is concerned, this COVID-19 virus has already spread to the whole Africa. So it is said that the mass majority of Africans have natural immunity against this disease. In some other courtesies, it is said that whatever countries that are still injecting individuals with this jab are actually injecting them against nothing because the virus has mutated. It has gone from what it was to different thing now. So any vaccination or injection has no protection against these things. Not only that, the pharmaceutical companies, their representations, I think during the European investigation about a lot of things that went wrong or informations, of course, they call it misinformation. Actually, we were misinformed or deceived, lied to for whatever reasons. Yet Ghanaian leaders are sitting down there that to reduce vulnerability, Ghanaians should avail themselves for this injection. It is either they are financially compromised, they don't know what is going on, or they just don't care about the health of Ghanaians. That's the first gentleman, Dr. Kwame Amposa Achenu, manager of the Expanded Program on Immunization, EPI. Let's carry on. Let's fast forward quickly. Now, prior to that, there is a doctor on YouTube that keeps update consistently on this matter and has given some very interesting, sometimes worrying statistics of what is going on. Even though personally I have issue with this, our Health Act, due to some aspects that I read, that begs question, let's accept it for now. The Health Act 851. The Health Act 851. Under Section 25, subsection 1, subsection B. Vaccinate that person unless satisfied that the person is already successfully vaccinated or otherwise has natural immunity to the disease, or unless the vaccination will be injurious to the health. There's already evidence around the world. Families have reported of people took this injection on the same day, a day after, 2 days later, 5 days, 4 days, a week later, in some cases casualties. There's a lot of reports now, even on the CDC website, that there are heart-related issues that are coming up. Is that not injurious enough for the Ghanaian medical officers or the leadership to begin to do their own research to come to a conclusion if this injection is consumable to Ghanaians? Again, is it that they are financially compromised? They don't know what is going on? Or they don't care about the health of Ghanaians? That's the Health Act I read out to you. Yet, our Minister of Health is saying that this very injection that is raising questions about what it does to human beings, he's demanding that the staffs at the Ministry of Health, except they have it, they will not access the building, even in 2023. This is the hot seat, where it's all about country and people, for the betterment of Mother Ghana. Something else to point out for the Health Act before I continue with the captions and make few comments and we're out of here. But then it's quite appalling. Section 21, subsection 2. One, the requirement to vaccinate does not apply where vaccination will be injurious to health. Again, injurious to health, or where there is satisfactory evidence that a person is already successfully vaccinated or otherwise has natural immunity to the disease. There is reports that Africa has survived this situation without much injection. Therefore, the disease has already spread through Africa. And mass majority, if not the whole population of Africa, including Ghana, have natural immunity. Why is the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, why are they not setting up the structure to check if Ghanaians are already naturally immune before injecting them with this very injection? Apart from the fact that the injection is labeled to have the tendency to cause injury. What is wrong with us? So your own Health Act that has the requirement that if an individual is naturally immune to a disease, he or she is not required to take an injection in a case, of course, vaccination, but by the definition or by the assertion and the information is coming out, this COVID injection does not protect, neither does it prevent. In some instances, it's even said that the health risk associated with taking the injection is higher than being exposed to the disease itself. Don't be naive. Don't fool yourself. Go and find the information before you follow these our leaders blindly and cause yourself harm. If there be any, I think there are, because I've known friends and I've known people who have given very unpleasant reports of taking the injection. Let's carry on. Then, this is on Ghana Web. Reduction in COVID-19 vaccine uptake worrying. And who is this? The Director General of Health. The Director General of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kuma Abuaji. I have actually called this Dr. Kuma Abuaji at the peak of the COVID-19 vaccine when he was mandating this thing with his press release. I called him out. But here we are. The very thing that I spoke about has become. And if he thinks he's not liable, he is. Evidences are proving that it seems Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Health, is not doing their homework. They are just accepting everything holistically as passed on to them from wherever it is being passed on to them. Where are our medical officers? Where are our doctors? Where are our scientists? Where are our virologists? Are they all compromised? Or they don't care? Don't put Ghanaians in harm's way because of your stomach. What did Dr. Kuma Abuaji say? Or what is he saying? He said it is worrying that Ghanaians are not taking the COVID-19 injection. Of course, they are reading, they are listening, they are hearing from all around the world. Even though you, who we have appointed and mandated to look after us, you're refusing to do so. For whatever reason, yes, Ghanaians are intelligent and smart enough to source information from other courtesies. This is why they will not touch it even with a quarter meter pole. That's why they will not. So if it's worrying to you that Ghanaians are not taking the injection, you should be doing your homework. Asking the right questions. Creating the situation where investigations are being made properly, scientifically, to justify if what we are accepting is worthy of use. This is the hot seat. All of our country and people. Now, that notwithstanding, on the 1st January 2023, the Ghana Health Service has a press release. And what is this press release? I'm not going to read all of it. Signed by who? Signed by the same Director General of Ghana Health Service. The last paragraph. We want to use this opportunity to encourage all Ghanaians who have not availed themselves for the COVID-19 vaccination. I call it COVID-19 injection because it does not qualify to be called a vaccine. To do so, those who have taken their first dose are to go for the second dose. After how many years? And those who have not taken their second dose are also entreated to go for the booster. But already it is said, if there be any, the variants that is going around, any previous COVID-19 vaccination cannot protect against it because it does not have the virus. The disease has mutated, has moved on. In some countries, this same COVID-19 is now downgraded as to be treated as a normal flu. What is wrong with our Ghanaian leadership? Is it that you're compromised financially? You don't know what you're doing? Or you don't care about the health of Ghanaians? And that's a shame. And it's unacceptable. And if with time it is proven that you're deliberately doing this for your personal gains, some needs to be prosecuted. Because I'm aware that there is even a friend whose daddy died after he took the job. Negligence. Now, not only the person saying it on the hot seat, you just open your ears and eyes and don't be ignorant, stupid, and foolish, and you will know what is going on. Don't trust these our leaders. Don't trust them. They are driven most of the time by their stomach, even though they are not hungry. Selfishness and wickedness. I am your host, The Hot Seat, M. Then here comes the Minister of Health. Ministry of Health declares no vaccination, no entry on the 2nd of January 2022, where countries like United Kingdom, US, Europe, these countries are beginning to investigate where they got it wrong by accepting and allowing their whole population to be injected with an injection that is yet to be proven what it does. The only thing proven so far about this injection is it's causing harm to people. Myocarditis is one of them. I can continue with the list. And our Ministry of Health, the minister, the same minister that procured vaccination without the authorization, is still standing there.
Is he financially compromised?
There was demand by Ghanaians for him to be removed or resign. That same person is coming telling us that if the staffs of the Ministry of Health do not have evidence that they have injected themselves with this thing, they will not have access. Okay, where is the provision within the Health Act that says that if you're naturally immune, you're not required to? Is the Ministry of Health setting up facilities for Ghanaians to be tested for natural immunity? What is wrong with us? Came across a document, Republic of Ghana, statement by the Minister of Health of Ghana, Honorable Kweku Addo, on the ending this pandemic. He went to give a speech somewhere in Geneva, Switzerland. 17th World Health Assembly, Geneva, Switzerland, May 2021. As of May 2021, they were talking about ending the pandemic. And yet this man, as of January 2023, sitting down there telling Ghanaians that if they don't inject themselves with this thing that is raising a lot of eyebrows and questions and vindicating individual doctors, virologists, people like Dr. Eden that was vilified, criminalized as a bad man, even though he was sounding warning. People like Dr. Malone, who was the brainchild of what it is that is being put in your body, that he warned about it. They were vilified. Now being vindicated. Because what is and what is, it is. You can deny it all you want. A fact is a fact. Truth are truth. Again, Honorable Kweku Addo, MP. Ghana Health Service holds a COVID-19 post-vaccination review meeting. A meeting? No, you should be setting up an investigation committee made up of virologists, doctors, physicians, scientists to study what you are injecting your Ghanaians, our Ghanaians, we Ghanaians. What was this meeting? To find out what went right, what didn't. And this is it. The Ghana Health Service, through the expanded program on immunization, is holding a 2-day review meeting in Kumasi to take a stock of what worked well and what failed. Nothing worked well, everything failed, if you care to know. 2, what the service can do to improve the COVID-19 response. The lockdown in Ghana was unnecessary, even though now we can see how vicious it is to our economy. How? Halting the economy suddenly and wanting to restart it. You see what it has cost us? Something that didn't start with us. And we were not vulnerable to it, but driven by our stomach because dollars were dangled in front of us. So we have no option but down to participate. And here we are. And Professor Hank is always on the internet telling us how our city is not performing well, how our inflation is going up. Purely because of the lockdown. Everybody is in denial. The problems of inflation around the world is because of the lockdown, the senseless, humanless lockdowns that took place. 3, the best way to implement these activities moving forward. Which best way? Which best way? When you refuse to find out, verify what you are injecting Ghanaians, to set up your own institution, to find out and prove. Where is our drugs board? What did they do to prove that this is viable or is wholesome for Ghanaian consumption? Anyway, we thought to raise this because even in the United Kingdom Parliament, they were debating the issues around the vaccination, the concerns raised by the people of the United Kingdom. The same thing is going on in America. The same thing is going on in Europe. And Ghana is sitting down there, still pushing it on their Ghanaian. Maybe we are not worthy of anything, so we can die. We can suffer from whatever it is that this injection causes. It's a shame. We thought to talk about it. Till we come your way, God bless Mother Ghana. Long live the Fourth Republic. And for your own good, do your personal research. Because it seems like our leaders, from the Minister of Health right down to the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, don't care about your health. They don't care about what you put inside your body. Make your own decision. Your body, your choice. Stay blessed. Stay healthy. Till we come your way. God bless Mother Ghana. Long live the Fourth Republic.